Hey guys, I pray you all are doing well. I just wanted to share something with you. It's sort of a testimony, um, just about God's goodness and just being ready at all times when, as a believer, when we're supposed to always let our light shine and always be ready when the Lord wants to use us. Doesn't matter how tired we are, doesn't matter what's going on in our lives. We never know how the Lord is going to use us, so we have to be willing vessels. And Luke chapter 12, I think it's verse 41 through verse 48, it talks about the faithful servant and the unfaithful servant. And today I had one of those days, and I'm sure all of us as believers or anybody have had those days where you just didn't want to be bothered. And today was one of those days I just did not want to be bothered at work, working, and I'm always witnessing to people about the goodness of the Lord, and people come for advice and things like that. And I don't give it unless they ask or unless the Lord unction me to, and then I'm willing and open to do so. But I was tired today. It's been a long 4 days, and I was tired. I just really didn't feel like being bothered, and I pretty much made up my mind. Yeah, I made up my mind. I pretty much made up my mind. I just wasn't gonna be bothered today. I wasn't gonna, try to tell anybody about anything. If they ask, I was just kind of gonna be short with them and all of that. But anyway, I had a salad today. I was gonna eat my lunch and sit back and enjoy my lunch. I got in my little corner, and I said, I'm not gonna be bothered today. I'm just not gonna be bothered. I hope don't nobody come talk to me, ask me anything. I just want to eat my lunch in silence and just be quiet. My husband called, find out, talk to him, or if the kids beep or something, text or something, I'll respond to them. Anybody else, I just didn't want to talk. Lo and behold, I didn't want to talk, right? Lo and behold, here come a young lady I've been, kind of witnessing to off and on for the past year, about the goodness of the Lord and how the Lord wants to use us, use her and his according to his purpose for her life and all of that. And I just kind of tired and want to put, and here she come. I'm like, I'm trying to eat lunch, blah, blah, blah. Kind of nonchalant. So she got a phone call. She said, I'll be back, Miss Shirley. I got to step outside. So I'm like, whew, good. Hopefully she don't come back. Because I'm saying to myself now, I hope she don't come back. And then soon as she walked away, I was convicted, by the Lord, hey, to whom much is given, much is required. And you never know how I want to use you. Would you be a willing vessel today? I'm like, you got me. Okay, Lord. All right. So whatever you say, I'll do. And just to make a long story short, we were talking about a particular subject, regarding her and relationship and stuff like that. And I was just telling her how the Lord, what the Lord did in my life. Testimony, how at one time in my life, I was young and I was miserable and I didn't think I was worth anything. I didn't think I was good enough, to be used by the Lord or good enough for anybody or good enough for my family. And I was suicidal and all of that. And how I just had to surrender my life to the Lord and just trust Him and stop trying to do things on my own and stop trying to trust myself to get things done and want to be in control of my life. And I just had to release it and let it go unto the Lord, and how He changed my life and why I am the person I am now and why I have so much joy. Because you always smile, and people telling me you always smile. It ain't that I feel good all the time or things are always going right in my life. It's the joy of the Lord is my strength. And so I say that, and I told her that, and tears just started flowing down her eyes. And she was like, "Well, Miss Shirley, I don't know how to let it go. I don't know how not to be afraid. I don't know how, to just let go." I said, "Baby, you just gotta let go." And she said, "Well, what do I say?" And so I began, to help her to pray this prayer, regarding, just confessing and repenting, that we're not any good by ourselves, that we need the Lord in our lives. We need Him to help us to be who He has called and ordained us to be. and to just to surrender to him and allow the Holy Spirit to just do what he needs to do in our lives. And he will walk with us and talk with us. And he's a wonderful counselor and all of that, everything that we need. He tells us what we need. He reminds us and let us know who we are, who he has created us to be. And the tears began to flow. And next thing I know, it's almost time for lunch to be over. And we did get a chance to pray that prayer. And I told her, just let go and let God and allow him to do what needs to be done in her life and in her family's life. And she said, okay. And so I'm not going to say her name. I'm just going to continue to pray for her. And if you would just whisper, if you know the Lord and you're connected, I don't have to say her name. The Lord knows her name. Just whisper a prayer for her tonight. And I told her it's not going to be easy, but with the Lord, all things are possible. So I thank God for opportunity that even when I didn't want to be bothered, he knew somebody needed him and needed a closer and a better relationship with him. So even when you don't want to be bothered, ask the Lord what he wants you to do. Get out of your feelings, get out of your flesh, and let God be God, because somebody needs you to represent. If you are a believer, somebody needs you to show up and represent even when you're in your own feelings. All right, y'all. God bless. Take care.